This is the Eye for an Eye channel. Welcome to today's show. You think liberal, quote unquote, insanity has gotten out of control? Wait till you see this. Somebody shared this over on the website. I thought at first that this was trolling, right? You know, obviously we know a lot of people do things to try to get a rise out of other people, but no. This isn't trolling what I'm about to show you. This is an actual organization. They have an actual website. They have social media accounts they constantly post on. They literally spend time going out in public and protesting. Protesting what? Protesting people who have kids. That's right. And according to their website, they say truly caring for others, stop having kids, acknowledges that there is an unconscionable amount of needless suffering, injustice, and death in the world, with birth serving as the catalyst for it all. As a result, it is a moral imperative that we strive to minimize and prevent as many new lives as possible. You can't make it up. This is what the government, through mind control operations like Mockingbird, all this stuff we've seen on liberal media, this is what they have convinced society of. Not all of society, but there are actually people out there that are blaming people who are having kids for their own problems in the world, for the homeless situation, for people who can't afford food. And just wait till the grid's down, because these are the people who are going to be triggered and foaming at the mouth. Look at some of the signs they have, and I'm going to show you them actually out in public, talking to people about how it's bad to have kids. They have signs teaching kids that having kids is optional. And they say their goal is, as a collective liberation movement, is to publicize the often overlooked and misinterpreted ideology and child-free lifestyle through a multi-layer approach. These tactics include encouraging advocacy, supplying people with educational resources and materials, as well as producing clothing and accessories that inspire critical thinking, reflection, validation, and positive change. All societies and cultures have heavily encouraged and promote having kids. That's one of the whole reasons we're here on Earth, is to have children, you morons, not to become famous musicians and not to become famous actors, not to achieve our dreams. It's to procreate. It's part of life, and it is part of, quote unquote, evolving as a species. You wouldn't be here if your parents didn't procreate. You lunatics. Look at these people interacting with others literally out in public, and listen to the just nonsense that comes out of their mouths.
So what's stophavingkids.org? I think that would be a really great service to the planet.
Oh, yeah. I mean, definitely. I mean, first off, you probably already know there's so much already existing life, whether we're talking about humans or other animals, who are in need. And why are they not the priority? Why are we, when birth control exists, contraception exists, obviously access differs across the world. Thank you. But yeah, we should be encouraging people. Societies and cultures should not be encouraging their citizens to have kids. They should be encouraging their citizens to take care of already existing life.
Yeah, again, in my role, like, I'm expected to say, as Pastor Hook, another little miracle. It's like, well, maybe not. Maybe a miracle would be living in harmony with the earth and, like, coming back into balance.
Yeah.
So they're out there talking about this stuff, saying that we need to stop having kids. Yet unfortunately, their parents didn't follow the protocols that they're asking other people to follow, because that would have been very appreciated, because we have enough lunatics running around in today's world. These are the types of people that not only should not have a right to even, they take away free speech from you and from me, and that these people are out there telling people not to have kids and telling them it's evil and wicked. The insanity of this world and this country is just flushing itself down a toilet. You cannot convince me that this is not Babylon, and this place is not set up to just be implode and just be destroyed. All it needs is one famine that they'll create, and this whole country is done. None of these people could even all they know how to use is a microwave. They can't even cook their own food, and if they can, they don't know enough to have supplies of food. They'll run out in 3 days and they'll have nothing. and they'll go to Big Brother for food and water. And Big Brother will probably shut the door in their face until it's time to take a mark. But anyway, that'll be in another video when we talk about that. They say society is heavily encouraging people to have kids. I wonder why, because it's normal. But again, to these people, men should not be having kids. Men should be giving birth to kids, right? We have men who are pregnant. I mean, I don't know what I'm witnessing anymore. Sometimes I have to just slap myself in the face to make sure I'm not dreaming. But apparently this is reality. They say they're trying to do what they can to disrupt the long-term detrimental buildup of social pressure to conform to unconsidered traditions, behaviors, and ways of thinking. We want to inspire people to question all societal norms and expectations. It's not a societal norm, it's a human norm. That's the whole point of a man and woman being together. Not just companionship, it's to procreate. My Lord, these people are so warped and insane. They don't even realize that's why they're here to speak. What are they saying? Because they're here and they have miserable lives, that other people shouldn't give birth because their parents should never have birthed them? Well, we all wish the same thing too for you. But unfortunately, you are here. Maybe you can make yourself a little bit more productive instead of holding out hope for this to actually occur. Well, I mean, there's a pretty good chance it is going to occur because it is kind of happening now that people are potioned up. And of course, we know from all the chemical stuff in the sky, the data shows that men and women are struggling to have children and have to go through procedures just to be able to get pregnant. Right? And then, of course, we know they promote something else with Parents and Planned all over the media. I wonder why. Right? And then we talk about depopulation and these people, a lot of us look at each other and we go, how do they not see that they want to depopulate? They openly talk about it, Gates and all these people. Now it's at the point where, everybody does see it, so we don't even need to use that argument anymore. It's literally at the point where, quote unquote, liberal people want to depopulate. They want it. They want what the New World Order wants. That's what we have to wrap our heads around now. It used to be like, how do they not see it? It's not that they don't see it, they want it. They've been convinced through Operation Mockingbird and all these other CIA ops that it's a good thing to depopulate. And they want to get rid of people like me and you, when in reality, they're the ones who are going to be, not only are they going to spend eternity in hell, because it's amazing that all the people who have this type of mindset all hate God, right? They've been fed this New World Order diatribe and they just blurt it back out any way they can, and they come up with this is what they're spending their time doing, walking around telling people not to have kids. Like people are actually going to listen to these morons. If anything, they're just embarrassing themselves. I mean, this is a real organization, but they're doing the will of the New World Order. That's how ridiculous these people have gotten. And they want to depopulate and see us go. Yeah, well, guess what? When crap hits the fan, you're not going to be able to run to your food truck or call Uber Eats to survive. And you know what? I know people out there, they're like, call, what would Jesus do if these people came knocking on your door? Well, why don't you tell me when it happens, when literally you actually feel the effects of starvation or dehydration, and you have just so much that you could feed your own children or your own wife or girlfriend or vice versa, parents, whoever. And somebody comes to your door who's wearing a shirt that says, stop having kids. And they go, can you spare me food? You might say, all right, I could spare them a can of soup. But guess what? They're not going to come and say, can you spare me? They're going to come and try to take your food. Why? Well, because that's the mindset of these people. They think they deserve handouts. They think that God has given them these horrible lives and they deserve handouts and they should deserve food since you have food. And just because you bought food and stored it and they didn't doesn't mean that you deserve the food. These people are nuts. And you might feel differently when they come knocking on your door. Look at some of these things. The world doesn't need you to, these are some of the things that they're posting on their website. Stop having kids. Kids won't save a failing relationship. Let's stop repeating the same old mistakes. I think beyond yourself, some of these people are, oh man. They're blaming food shortages on people who have kids because they're feeding their own children. Oh man. Join the vasectomy club is one of the signs that they have. Right? Then they show homeless shelters. People living out in the woods, and they're blaming it and the housing situation on people who are having kids. To say they're lunatics is beyond, it's doing them a service. Let's say they're losers is more likely a better term. Failures, really. The world doesn't need you to continue your bloodline, genetics, or family name is one of the signs. Yeah, go tell that to the elites. What are you telling it to the common person for? If you want to know why you're suffering in this society and in this world, it's because the system was set up to fail. And the system was created by a bunch of people who you're doing the bidding for, who want you to think that way. In reality, if these people weren't here controlling everything, we would all live pretty wonderfully. And maybe you would learn how to do some things like farm or actually, produce food so you don't have to beg people and beg the government to feed you. But that's what they want you to do because you'll be probably, this organization will be right at the front of the line to take the mark of the beast. Insanity. The website, if you're interested and you want to get pissed off, is called stophavingkids.org. They have a YouTube channel. They have Instagram if you're on these other social media sites, Twitter, Facebook. And literally, you're going to look at this and you're going to say to yourself, this must be trolling. Well, if it's trolling, they sure are putting a lot of time and effort into it. Okay? And if their goal is, we triggered someone like a call for numbers, congratulations. You could have used all this time to actually learn something useful so that you can possibly get food and not worry about starvation or get a job. I know that's a little bit out of the realm of thought in this world. You could actually work, and you could actually produce, get food and produce, make food or buy food or save food or stock food or give food to people that you think need food, like the homeless, which is a perfectly noble thing to do to help out other people. But to walk around and spend your time carrying signs telling people not to procreate, you're really just showing that your life is absolutely worthless, useless, and you really probably already had a lobotomy and should be committed somewhere. Thank you for being here, everybody. God bless all of you and your families.